Welcome to the demonstration of the Eropson app. I will show how educational robotics little bits components are simulated in AR. Here we are in the Eropson application. You see on the right I'm controlling the user interface and I'm adding an image into my scene. I'm working in the edit mode at the moment. So I found an image from the LittleBits website that displays one of the possible circuits that can build. And here my image appears in my augmented reality space. I move it where I want it to be, I scale it to make it a bit larger, and I stick it to my wall. It shows me how to assemble a simple circuit that contains power, button, and a fan bit. Okay, now I'm happy how it's positioned. And I go back to the media content of my scene and I add the power component. I can move it in space like this. I can turn it. You can see here power consists of two elements and they're connected with a wire and I can move them independently. Then I'm adding another component, the USB power bit, and I move it again to a bit closer to my power source and I snap it. You could also see there is a sound indicator and there is a visual green indicator that this component now has power. Let me go again to the list of possible components, to the Eropson library, and I'm adding a button. It appears here on the right in my spawning point location, and then I can move it again a bit closer. You can see here that I can rotate the bits incorrectly and then they are not snapping and giving me a error sound indicator. And some of the components are interactive, like the button. You can see here I can tap on the button and it will be pressed down and then the green indicator will appear. I'm adding now the last component that I want to use in my circuit, which is the fan bit. I will move it a bit closer. You can see here again that it consists of two parts connected with a wire. I need to think a little bit how I want to connect it. Let's try like this. No, it doesn't work. And let me rotate it like that. And it snaps. I also want to move the fan a little bit closer so it's in the field of my view. And as you can see, when I tap on the button, the fan starts to rotate. To recap, so I have four components. I can move them on, I can snap them together like this, like that. I can press the button and I can snap my fan and fan rotates. Let me now go back to the list of action steps in my activity, and I have been working in step number 1. Let me give it a name, button and fan. And in my learning activity, I can add as many of the steps as I need. So let's add another one. And in this action step, I would like to work with a different set of little bits, but I know that 2 of them I can reuse. So I will go and select keep alive for 2 of my components in step number 1, power source and power bit, and I will keep them alive for both step number 1 and step number 2. Now I'll go to step number 2, and as you can see here, I already have 2 of the components I need ready to be used. And I will snap them right away. Like that. Now I want to add another poster that will represent a different circuit that I want to build in my step number 2. That is a very similar circuit, but it has a LED lamp as an output bit. I will make this poster a bit bigger again and position it behind my working area. And as you can see, I'm working at home, and this is designed to be executed also at home by students. I want to make it a bit more compact, like this. And let's add other components. Let's add a button. I will move it closer, rotate, and snap to my circuit. Let's see, I would like to add now the LED lamp component. And move it also closer to my circuit. I will rotate it properly and check if it snaps. Yes, it does. That means everything's correct. I want also to position the lamp itself a bit closer so that it's in the same field of view as the rest of the bits in this circuit. So when I interact with the button, I will also see the lamp. As you can see here, I press the button down and the lamp turns on. Okay, now let's give a name to our step. Good. Now let's go back to step number 1. As you can see, my bits are here a bit disassembled, and I'll switch now to the play mode. So this is how the students will see the activity, and they will be able to play with these components without much of the scaffolding information around. So see, all the bits are also interactable, almost in the same way as in the edit mode. Some components are interactable, like the button, so they switch the state, or they rotate like the output bits, like this fan. Then I will switch to step number 2. Again, I have the other set of components. I can move them, snap, interact with the button, follow the instructions on the picture, and connect. There are other components, both education robotics and other media types, that can be used for additional instructions such as audio, video, and 3D models. And here is a very simple example of just a few of them.